Hello. We're trying to set up this network using the OSPF routing protocol. Now, as you can see, we have four routers and two computers, so far away from each other, the computers. Um, so let's connect the devices and then start the configurations. First of all, uh, this router here is connected to three devices, but by default, it only has two interfaces. So I'll just show you how to um, add interfaces to the router. So in the physical tab, we can turn off the device. Okay, first we have to turn it off. And then we have the HWIC2T. You can read the description here. And I'll add one and I'll turn on the device. Now, instead of doing the same task for all the other devices, all the other routers, I'll just copy this router and paste it. So I need 3, I'll go paste it 3 times. If I need 4, I'll paste it 4 times. Okay, I'll just use shorter names for the routers, um, so they are easily referenced. R1 and then R2 and R3 here. Okay. Okay, let's use the automatic cabling tool. Now I can connect these together. Okay, so I could do that and then this. Okay, if I want two paths for the same destination. Okay, now I'll use labels for the IP addresses. Each interface of a router must be on a different network. For example, this router has 3 interfaces. Each should be on a different uh, network. So uh, I'll use 192.168.1.0 here, and I'll use 2.0 here, 3.0, 4.0, and 5 here, and then the 6. Okay, so now I have all these networks. Okay, now for each router, for example this one, I need to turn off the device, the interfaces, and I need to give them IP addresses. So I'll start with the first one here, R0, and no, enable, and then I'll go to the configuration mode. Oh, if you use a wrong command here, you'll get to this translating something. I used a double O here, so I'll just keep this route and start with another one until that, because this process takes some time, as you can see. So I'll just configure this one. Okay, enable config, and then I need to see the interfaces here. So I have 3 interfaces. I'll start with interface kick 0/0. I'll give it an IP address of 192.168. That will be for 1 with a subnet mask of 255, and I'll just give it no shutdown, which means turn it on. As you can see, this one is turned on now. Okay, to the next one. Exit interface is E010. Okay, I'll just say IP address. I'll give it the IP address of 192.168.3.1 with the same subnet mask for all devices, and I'll give it no shutdown. As you can see here, I used no shutdown, but I still can't see this light turn green. Why? Because for this dot to turn green, you need to turn on this interface as well. So the whole network, all the interfaces on the same network must be on, and then they will turn green. Very well then. Um, I think, okay, now we have one last interface on this router. So I'll just use interface SE0/1/1, and I'll give it an IP. Oh, okay. You don't need to rewrite every time all the commands, so you just use the upper key or upper row, and I'll give this one 5.1, and then no shutdown. Okay, now this one is up to, so, but it hasn't turned green, so you need to do this one so that that one will turn green too. So let's start here. I have two interfaces. Okay, this is R1, enable config, and then I'll use interface SE0/1/1. I'll give it an IP address of 192.168.3.2.255.255.255.0. It must be 3. It shouldn't be 3.1 because we've used 3.1 for this interface here. So, and then I'll just say no shutdown. I should see this interface turn green once I run this command. Yes. Okay. Now I'll post the video and do this procedure for all other devices and then come back here. Okay. Now I've turned on all the interfaces and I have set up the IP addresses. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 networks here. Now, next step is to give these the computers IP addresses. So I'll start with PC1. This should be in the same range here as we've set 40. So this one will be for anything, for 2, for 3, but the default gateway must be for 1, since this is the IP address of the interface of the router gig00. Okay, now we'll do the same here, which I've done. It is 1, 2, and the default gateway is 1, 1, which is the IP address of this interface right here. Okay, now I have everything set up. I have IP addresses, I have the routers connected, but I still can't send the I still can't send the packets. Why? Because I don't have any routing protocol set up. So we'll set up the OSPF routing protocol. Okay, we should be in a config mat. We will do this step for each router. We'll just say network OSPF. We're using the OSPF protocol 1. 1 is a number of the process. So this is process ID. As you can see in Windows or other devices, you have a process ID for each program that's running, process program and running. Okay. Sorry, router OSPF 1. Okay, now I have to give it all the IP addresses of the networks. Okay, now, okay, network 192.168.1.0. What's the subnet? This is the inverse of the subnet mask. So if you make it binary, the subnet mask, and invert every bit, you'll get the inverse subnet mask. And then we have to set up an area 0, which is the backbone area. I'll use the same area for all the devices, all the routers. Okay, so now I define all the other networks. As we discussed before, you do not need to retype this, just need to use the upper key and you can do this. Okay, you can set up only the directly connected interfaces, but in this sample I'll use all the networks. Okay, so Now this one is working. Finished the configuration of this router. Now I'll have to repeat the same step on all the other routers. So on router 1, config, I must be in a config method, say router OSPF 1. I'll just paste that, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other remaining two routers. Okay. Now that I've done the same steps in all the routers, as you can see here, router OSPF1, and then all the networks are added here. Now I should be able to send packets. I'll use the simulation mode to see step by step how the packets. I'll try to send a packet from this computer to this one. Okay, it goes to the switch to the first router. It shows that path, and then it will to the destination. Now it's coming back here. Okay, I can also send it from here to here. Okay, now it's using a different path because these two paths have equal bandwidth and cost. It's using load balancing to choose to send and receive the packets. That's the end of the tutorial. Thank you.